W. Great news. I've been tinkering with a little something along the lines of that death ray you were asking about, and, while it's not exactly a death ray, it's still pretty sweet.
Rockin'. That is great news, Dr. Pyler. But I've a bit of a problem. It seems that a death-producing ray isn't exactly what I needed. What I needed was something like a ray that could produce death but doesn't.
That is such an amazing relief. The depths of science have been plumbed. We broke rainbows, bent space-time, carried a fetus to term, ate a lot of takeout sushi, spilled the cosmic dust into a keyboard, and spliced the genetics of a man with a fly, and still my stalwart staff and I were at a loss at making death rays. We screwed up, and made a strangeness generator.
A strangeness generator sounds interesting. What's it do?
It generates strangeness.
Have you begun testing yet?
Most definitely. It was difficult to control at first, as everything we pointed it at turned into either a bowl of molars or a 50-foot chicken, but the other day I was hanging a clock in my bathroom. I slipped and hit my head on the toilet, and I suddenly saw this.
Is that what I think it is? No, it isn't. Sorry. I thought for a second you had envisioned the flux capacitor and we could maybe crack the time travel riddle again.
No, my good W, it is in fact better than that. Way bigger. By using that schematic, drawing it symmetrically through the green spectrum of a prism, we were able to distort the separations between dimensions and wring out any little beasties that may be crawling around in there at any given point in time. They have no shape or form, but are quite mischievous, and like to manifest as abstract absurdities. We've been testing for the last several days, and the results have exceeded all expectations.
No way. Has that been why all the odd things keep happening in and around the ship?
Indeed. We were in prototype production, when we chose to fire it a few times, and first it made a ham sandwich. Then it malfunctioned and fired its weirding ways in unknown directions, so no telling what those did. Then it got tired, and took a nap. We've made a few adjustments, but it's still very much asleep.
This is very good news. This furthers my plans all the more. Listen, I know you've been working really hard on all this, so I've had some funds diverted from some offshore accounts I've had tucked away. Will you accept it as compensation?
No, W, I'm afraid that won't do it all. I've no use for money, but if you could work your magic and procure some of that dream brew, I'd be very appreciative. You have no idea of the grapeseed magic that resides in that wondrous juice.
Yeah, I can do that, but the smallest amount I can swing is a tanker. Nobody sells it by the gallon anymore. It's all tankers and truckloads. But you have to tell me one thing. What do those things on your head do?
That request I cannot oblige. You see, the helmet grants me immense powers so big that they cannot be mashed into the human imagination. However, one of the features of the helmet is that it expands the limits of the human imagination, meaning I can only understand the helmet while I'm wearing it, and even if I tried to explain it to you, it wouldn't make any sense.
Ah, that's okay, but let me know when you're done with it. I'd like to try it out. I'll drop by the lab in a few days to discuss that generator, assuming it's awake by then. And Simon.
Yes, W?
What do you think of the sweet metal hands?